Hey guys, Windshield bringing you some advanced tactics now on Battlefield 3 multiplayer gameplay. I want to cover the tank this time, and those of you that are not aware, I want to start a new advanced tactics series explaining expert tips and advice now that you guys have had this game a little while and like me have leveled up a lot of your equipment and unlocks. I want to talk in particular about advanced strategies and tips for your vehicles now that you've unlocked most equipment with them. And in particular, I want to talk about the tank in this video. I have a video out already now about the helicopter, and I'll have one out again today about the gunner position, advanced tactics on that as well. But this video is about the tank again, and in particular, I want to cover the last perk you can unlock in this tier. I believe it's the third tier on the tank. It's the CITV gunner position. Basically what it does is it gives you a third position inside the tank that's not a machine gunner, but basically like a SOFLAM, basically for the tank. So you can see here we're taking out a helicopter that's just been terrorizing us all match in Conquest. Basically what happens is I am the tank gunner, and then in my third position here I've got a buddy of mine that's just helping me out by lasing this target, and then what I have to do is switch to my guided shell munition in my tank to lock onto that helicopter and then fire that round. So basically he lases the target, and then I switch to my guided shell, and then I have to lock onto it too. So that's the second tone that you hear, is me locking on there myself, and that's the crosshairs of the guided shell. That's what they look like right there. There is a difference. You can see here it's next to impossible to take out jets with that. They just move too fast and get, you can't turn your turret in time to get on them, and you can't raise it high enough to get on. So don't waste your time with jets with it, because I've tried and you can probably do it, but you gotta be pretty lucky. But helicopters are dead meat, one shot. Same thing with tanks. Basically, if you get a guided shell hit on them, and of course the only way the guided shell works is if somebody has a SOFLAM or a laser designated target, or in of course the CITV position. That's the only way the guided shell is going to work for you. So you got to have your target laser designated, but once you switch that, it's pretty much, at least one shot will disable a vehicle with it, and it will certainly destroy a helicopter with one shot as well. So now tanks can take out air vehicles, in particular helicopters, and that's a great perk for tanks because for the most part they're pretty defenseless against tanks. So your gunner, with a 50 caliber machine gun, has pretty limited success against a helicopter. Unless it's really low in damage, you're just not going to take it out. But on this match in particular, Conquest, of course, I'd like to show you gameplay where it looks like we're going to lose the match. I mean, look at the score right here. Right now, we're 43 tickets to 118. How the hell are we going to pull out of this and win this match? We'll keep watching because, again, the tank, one single tank can turn the tide of the battle completely in your favor. So you can see here I got one guided shell hit on that tank. And you can even shoot those guided shells over terrain. You don't have to be line of sight. It's basically like a Stinger missile, but for the tank. So it can, once you lock onto something, it'll basically, you can lob the shell over terrain. But it does have its limitations. I mean, sometimes if you're shooting at like a helicopter or something like that, it can't really exactly make turns like what you're used to. So you got to watch out for it, and you kind of use it smartly is the best way I can describe it. It's not the easiest thing to use, but it is a very effective weapon if you use it right and correctly. So when you're seeing a helicopter, try to get it kind of low on the horizon and out in front of you rather than the helicopter in the middle of a tight turn, because chances are the guided shell won't turn to hit it even if you lock onto it. But again, here in position Bravo, Operation Firestorm, a Conquest, if you get a tank from behind, they're pretty much done. This guy hopped out early, repaired that tank, but we made quick work of him again. And the tank is such an effective tool for just cleaning out stragglers. I hang out in this position quite a while in this match, basically to establish a foothold on this position, and then once we get it finally secured, I'm comfortable and confident that we've killed every little guy that wants to hang out here and try to recapture after we move on. Because that's what a lot of people do. They'll wait for the tank to push on, and then they'll just sit there on position. And, until we get everybody, you don't want to move on to the next position. So I cleaned out all those guys, and now we're going to push up towards Alpha. Look what happens here. I don't know how we don't get this guy with a guided shell. This is a perfect shot. He should have gone down instantly. So again, it doesn't hit every time, but a lot of times they'll freak out and crash like they do here. Look where he comes right up. Boom. This wreckage goes right into us. So they're still pushing on to get Pier to Bravo, trying to take us. So I'm going to hold this position again until we can, again, stop the threat, stop their advance, and then we'll push back up towards Alpha. But I'm not going to let them have this position without a fight. And you can see that guided shell hit. Basically, one's going to disable it, and one more shell after that will pretty much take it out. Now you can see I got zoom optics here. That's a real effective weapon for the tank. Really allows you to keep your distance from enemies and tanks. Very effective. Now don't freak out if you're getting lased by a SOFLAM by an enemy. A lot of people want to do that. I just let them laze me all day long. But unless the team's got javelins, there really is not much they can do against you. So you got to use teamwork. You know, if somebody has a SOFLAM out and they're laser designating a target, you got to have javelins equipped, because basically you can disable a tank with one javelin. Took those guys out on the roof. I still think I saw a guy flash up on my mini-map here. I'm not going to move on until I am certain that I've killed out all the roaches on position Bravo. And I'm seeing crosshairs right there when I hit a target, so I know I'm hitting something in there. So I'm just going to keep shooting a shell in there, and eventually I get a kill. I mean, I didn't know there was a guy in there, but again, you got to watch those crosshairs for the hit marker when you get a hit on somebody near the shell, because they're very powerful shells. Now you can see here the limitation of the CITV station. It's got a very limited range. My teammate's trying to designate that target, and you know, he's just too far away, and that's why it doesn't work with jets very well. But I want to give a shout out there to Skylar995. He did a great job with me on 2 matches in a row. I got another video I'll be posting today about the gunner position, where it's that epic 21 kill streak in the gunner position with him as a pilot. And lots of good tactics there I'll be discussing with you. Alright, here I make the classic mistake. This is what happens when the tank, when you push up too aggressively, too quickly, you get fixated on one guy, you lose your bearings, and next thing you know is you're getting shot in the ass by an enemy tank. So again, that's what you don't want to do with the tank right there. You want to be careful about pushing up, especially near their spawn. You know they're just going to be rolling in their tanks, so I should have been so aggressive there, pushing on. But that's the gist of that video, guys. I just wanted to discuss in particular, the CITV station. A lot of people asking me how to use that. I hope that kind of clarifies it. Again, I just want to recap on it. You as a tank gunner alone in that tank can hop into that position by hitting the X button twice. It'll switch you from the gunner position to the CITV station. It basically creates a third seat in the tank. So as yourself in the tank, you can hop in there, designate something, and then hop back into the driver's seat and shoot a guided shell. Although chances are you'll probably lose lock on something unless it's a tank by the time you shoot it. But you really got to have another guy in that tank. You can even have 3 guys in tank, 1 on the gunner position, 1 on the CITV station. Makes it a real effective tool. So don't be afraid to use that, guys. Work towards it. It's very effective. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the video if you liked it.